PBC have been exposed once again. Eddie Hearn pulls out receipts. He shows the email that he sent to Jermall Charlo with the offer to fight Demetrius Andrade. Shows it on screen, also shows it to Radio Raheem, as well as the initial Instagram messages he sent to Charlo. Shows those to Radio Raheem as well. Now, so far, it's been radio silence from Jermall Charlo. He hasn't admitted that he's received an offer from Eddie Hearn. He also hasn't denied it. PBC and Tom Brown or whoever it is over there, they've been saying, oh, Eddie Hearn never sent us any offer. Well, Eddie Hearn never said he sent you an offer. He sent the offer directly to the fighter. And the fighter, so far, has been silent. Now, I suspect I know why he's been silent at the moment. Because Eddie Hearn has made multiple offers to PBC fighters over the years. He offered the Tevin Farmer fight to Tank Davis several times. Tank Davis acknowledged it, but turned it down. He offered Kaunaki the AJ fight. Kaunaki acknowledged it, but turned it down. He offered Ortiz the AJ fight, but turned it down. He offered Wilder the AJ fight several times. The last time with a $120 million deal. Wilder's team acknowledged it, but turned it down. Eventually, even the most patriotic American boxing fan is going to start to wake up and smell the coffee and realize something is not right with PBC. Why are their fighters turning down all these fights? You had De La Hoya recently coming out and saying that he offered Charlo the Canelo fight a while back, and Charlo turned that down. What's going on with PBC? They're starting to look bad in the eyes of an increasing number of people, including Americans. I've been seeing some American YouTube channels out there who, at first glance, you would assume these would be PBC fanboys, but then you listen to what they're saying and they're not happy with Al Heyman. They're not happy with Charlo. They're not happy with PBC. They're realizing that there's some con artists over there. And so I suspect the reason that Charlo has been tight-lipped on this offer from Eddie Hearn, he hasn't confirmed or denied it. I suspect that he has been advised or maybe even instructed to say nothing. Because if we get yet another PBC fighter turning down a perfectly good fight, it's going to, be a difficult thing for the PBC propaganda merchants to explain. The Tom Browns of the world, these kind of people. Difficult for them to explain it. I mean, now they've got their little elf, Sean Porter, jucking and jiving, doing a jig on television as a little PBC propaganda mascot. It's sad to see Sean Porter stoop so low because I really did respect him as a fighter. But to just stoop to the level of being a PBC propaganda elf, that's sad. So, look, the PBC fanboys are going to do what they do because they are demented, deluded, hopelessly brainwashed individuals with dangerously low IQs. But to anybody with a modicum of intelligence, even if they're the most patriotic people in the world, eventually they're going to see the pattern here. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. This is something I highlighted before. The interview that Jermall Charlo, not the brother Jermall, who's the middleweight, but Jermall, who's at 154. He did an interview after his revenge win over Tony Harrison. And at the press conference post-fight, he said of a possible unification, he said, it's a great possibility. And I am a promoter, I can say that. But I got people, advisors and people ahead of me that control some of those things. Who could he possibly be talking about? Think about it. I've got advisors and people ahead of me that control some of those things. So he's telling you that a unification is a possibility, but it depends upon my advisor and people ahead of me. It's not all just down to me. That's what he's telling you. Is that the case for his brother Jermall as well? I strongly suspect it is. And if he has turned down a Canelo fight and he's silent on a unification with Andrade, I mean, people, 2 and 2 equals 4. It doesn't equal 5 like these PBC drones would have you believe. No, it equals 4. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. See, the more intelligent PBC fighters are starting to look elsewhere. Mikey Garcia is probably the most intelligent from a business point of view of all the PBC fighters. Even he was so wary of entertaining any fights on the zone or working with Eddie Hearn because the brainwashing over there is crazy with PBC and Al Heyman. But eventually he realized, you know what, let me at least try. Let me at least dip my toe in the water over there. And you see, this is the danger for Al Heyman and PBC, is they push so many lies and they tell their own fighters so many lies that when one of their fighters, and look, there have been PBC fighters like Danny Jacobs, etc., who have gone over to DAZN and Eddie Hearn. But the more of them who do, and they get there and think, hang on, all the stuff that Al Heyman and all these PBC guys told me about Eddie Hearn and DAZN was all a lie. It's actually cool over here. I'm being treated well. They're trying to make fights for me. They're doing this. I mean, it's cool. When word gets back to the fighters who are still with Al Heyman, still with PBC, you might see an exodus from PBC after that. The fighters who are smart enough to not continue to fall for the brainwashing. So it's a dangerous game. And look, Al Heyman is a smart guy. He's successfully manipulated a whole stable of fighters into believing that he's working in their best interests, when very often he's working in his own best interests and swindling his fighters in a roundabout way, because he's swindling them out of some of the biggest fights that they could be in. So he's smart in his ways of manipulation. And he's also smart in the propaganda machine that they've put into motion, brainwashing all these fans out there. But I think in the long run, when you base your strategy on lies to this degree, it's all going to come crumbling down sooner or later. That is not a solid base to build your empire upon. Lies. It's like a castle made of sand. Doesn't have solid foundation. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.